Khums is a religious obligation in Shia Islam requiring Muslims to pay 1/5 or 20% of certain types of surplus income. Traditionally, it applies to profits earned after yearly expenses. The collected khums are divided into two equal parts. Sahm Imam, or share of the Imam. During the Imam's occultation, this share is given to qualified Shia jurists, or marja'i, who use it for religious education, community welfare, Islamic propagation, and supporting religious institutions. Sahm Sadat, or share of the Sayyids. This portion supports needy descendants of the Prophet who cannot receive regular charity. Organizations within Ijaza can manage and distribute these funds to eligible recipients on your behalf. Abbas has been collecting khums for as long as I can remember. So according to Shia law, they must have Ijaza from a marja to collect this khums, right? Let's listen to what the board members of Abbas had to say when asked about their khums collection.
We talked a little bit before about Khums, Khums, which you understand to be a donation, a religious donation to be made every year by Shia Muslims, correct?
पहले हमने बात की थी खुम्स के बारे में जो कि शिया मुसलमान लोग हर साल ये जो कि मजहबी खैरात देते हैं, सही बात है?
देते होंगे, हमें तो हर साल नहीं देते.
They might be doing it, but they don't give it to us every year.
When you receive the Khums money, do you have a license known as an Ijaza? That's Ijazat?
We receive donation as a कोई भी देता है वो donation करके हमें देता है.
We receive donation as anyone who gives us something. It's they give it as a donation.
वो खुद देते हो किसी को जाके तो उनका, लेकिन जो हमें पार्ट मिलता है वो डोनेशन ही होता है.
They might be giving to someone else on their own, but the part we receive is a donation.
So is the Khums money is to be collected and it's supposed to be passed to another person? It's not supposed to be GEA that keeps the Khums money, correct?
तो जो खुम्स के पैसे होते हैं वो है कि ये इकट्ठा करके किसी और के देने होते हैं, जीए को खुद अपने पास नहीं रखने होते, सही बात है?
नहीं, वो एक पार्ट हम यूज कर सकते हैं. वो जब जो देने वाला है वो कहता है कि ये आपको मैं दे रहा हूँ, जो सदात का हिस्सा है वो खुद देंगे या गरीबों में वो देंगे. हमें जो वो देते हैं वो ऐसे डोनेशन देते हैं कि आप ये यूज कर लें.
No, the donor gives us that we can use a part of it. That's how they give it to us. And the portion of sadat, or the person who's giving or giving to the poor, they might be doing on their own. We receive it as a donation.
And who have you received the ijazat for Khums from? Which ayatollah have you received it from?
तो ये जो खुम्स को कबूल करने की इजाजत है वो आपको किस आयतुल्लाह से मिली है?
मैं बार बार कह रहा हूँ कि हम खुम्स नहीं लेते, हम डोनेशन लेते हैं. एज ए डोनेशन वो हमें देते हैं. वो कहते होंगे खुम्स का हिसाब, वो जो हमें पार्ट देते हैं वो कहते हैं दिस इज अ डोनेशन. वो खुम्स खुद देते होंगे, हमारे पास किसी का इजाजा नहीं.
Like I'm saying it repeatedly, we receive it not as a khums, but just as a donation. They might be giving their own part of khums on their own, but we receive only as donation. So we do not have ijaza from anyone.
Let's see what the treasurer had to say when asked about this same topic.
Do you take any donations from donors which are marked as being zakat or khums?
तो कोई आप ऐसी खैरात कबूल करते हैं लोगों से जिसको उन्होंने कहा हो कि ये ज़कात है या हुम्स है?
याद नहीं.
I don't remember.
So nobody has anyone ever, let's say as recently as March of this year, has anyone come to you and given you money and said this is for khums or zakat?
तो मान लीजिए कि इस साल की अब की बात करते हैं, हाल ही की, मान लीजिए कि मार्च से लेकर अब तक इस साल कोई आपके पास आया हो, उसने कहा हो कि ये जो पैसे हैं ज़कात के हैं या खुम्स के हैं?
याद नहीं।
आई डोंट रिमेंबर।
So I should have asked in the very beginning. Are you on any medications today that'll make you difficult to testify truthfully or to remember?
ये सवाल शुरू से पूछ लेना चाहिए था। आज आपने कोई दवाई खा रखी है जिसकी वजह से आपको याद करने में कोई दिक्कत हो रही हो?
Does GEA have an ijazat from any ayatollah to collect zakat or khums?
क्या किसी भी आयतुल्ला से जीए ने इजाजत ले रखी है ज़कात और खुम्स कबूल करने के लिए?
नहीं।
No.
Brothers and sisters, let me tell you this. A member from our community had approached me during our lawsuit and told me that just the previous year they had donated over $20,000 in khums to Dar Abbas with the understanding that they had ijazat to collect khums. And now the management of Dar Abbas is testifying that they do not, nor did they ever have ijazat to collect any khums money. Do you understand what this means? This isn't just about money anymore. This is about sacred trust. Khums belongs to the Imam of our time and the family of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Misusing it is not just a small matter. It is a betrayal of the very faith this mosque claims to uphold. But I suppose when you run a mosque like a business, money just becomes money, and it no longer matters where it comes from or who it truly belongs to. Brothers and sisters, I know we have shared a lot of sad and disturbing news with you about the operation and mismanagement of Dar Abbas. Let us not lose sight of what is most important here. So far, we have shown you that only close friends and family members of Ali Assad receive money from donation funds. We have also seen payments being made to board members, cash withdrawals in the amount of $75,000 by Ali Assad with no explanation. The treasurer is completely clueless and has no idea about what is going on with the mosque funds. Dar Abbas does not have ijazah to collect khums, even though they have repeatedly told the community otherwise. Management aside, the one person who should embody honesty and integrity is the Maulana of a mosque. A Maulana is meant to be the spiritual light of the community, someone who doesn't just preach Islam, but lives it every day. A true Maulana stands firm on the side of truth, even when it's uncomfortable, and never wavers in the face of injustice. Sadly, we've already seen that this ideal has been betrayed before, most notably by Wasim Abbas, and now we turn our attention to the new Maulana of Dar Abbas, Dr. Amir Abbas Jafri.
Okay. Wasim Malik, Wasim Malik. Was he a preacher for
Yes.
GA? Do you know approximately how long he was a preacher for GA?
Approximately 5 years or more.
Okay. And when did he stop being a preacher? Do you know what year?
When they show the video,
And what do you mean they showed the video?
they make the video about him.
And what was the video talking about?
The video, everybody see the video.
And is that the video that Wayne Dolcefino
Yes.
put on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't my clients who made the video. It was another person.
They brought him over there.
Okay. But Wayne Dolcefino took the video, correct? Or his cameraman did. Okay. And what about that video made Wasim Malik quit as a preacher of GEA?
He just want to quit.
And did he give a resignation letter?
Yes.
Okay, and you accepted the resignation?
Yes.
And who replaced him?
New Maulana.
And what's his name?
Amir Jafri.
And is he still with GEA?
Yes.
Okay, so approximately when did this all happen? 2023?
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Jafri was brought to Dar Abbas shortly after the release of our first video by Wayne Dolcefino. Brothers and sisters, let's look at the timing of how these events transpired. Timing is very important in this section because it will help answer many questions.
15 जुलाई 2023 वेन डॉल्सफिनो ने अपनी तहकीकी कार्रवाई का आगाज़ किया। 19 ता 29 जुलाई मुहर्रम का पहला अशरा सन 2023 मौलाना आमिर जाफरी को मुहर्रम के पहले अशरे के लिए $6,000 दिए गए। 20 सितंबर 2023 वेन डॉल्सफिनो ने वसीम अब्बास से तहकीकात करने के लिए फ़ोन कॉल की, जिसके नतीजे में वसीम अब्बास ने रिहायशी आलिम के ओहदे से इस्तीफ़ा दे दिया। 6 अक्टूबर 2023 वेन डॉल्सफिनो की बनाई हुई वीडियो सरेआम हुई। 8 अक्टूबर 2023 वीडियो सरेआम होने के 2 ही दिन बाद मौलाना आमिर जाफरी की आवाज़ में एक रिकॉर्डिंग जारी की गई, जिसमें हमारी तहकीकात को झूठा करार दिया गया और दर अब्बास की इंतज़ामिया का दिफा किया गया।
Okay, so let me provide you some context. Dr. Jafri was paid $6,000 by Dar Abbas to cover the first Muharram Ashra. Okay, cool. $5,000 to $6,000 is typically what most speakers charge for the first Ashra of Muharram. So there's nothing wrong here. However, a few weeks later, Wasim Abbas is contacted by Wayne Dolcefino, and the questioning upsets him so much that he resigns from his position as the resident alim. So now we have a job opening. And who is the perfect person to take this job opening? None other than Dr. Amir Jafri. But before he could be given this job, there is something that he had to do to protect the image of the management team of Dar Abbas. He had to release a statement using his position as a Maulana to discredit the investigation that was done by Wayne Dolcefino, an award-winning private investigator with 30 years of experience. He had to once again assure the community that everything was fine and they had nothing to worry about. Let's listen to the words that Dr. Amir Jafri used in his recording that was released just 2 days after our video was released.
अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाह। कैसे हैं अफजल भाई? खैरियत से हैं? अफजल भाई, बड़ा ही दुख हुआ ये सारी रिपोर्ट देख के, और मैं चूँकि इस सेंटर को भी जानता हूँ और इसकी इंतज़ामिया को भी जानता हूँ, मौलाना को भी जानता हूँ, और इस इंतज़ामिया में जितने नाम लिए गए और बाकी लोग जो हैं, जितने भी हैं, जो बहुत सारे यहाँ के डोनर्स हैं और सामने नहीं आते, मैं उन्हें भी अच्छे तरीके से जानता हूँ। मैं आपको अपनी तहकीकात की बुनियाद पे ये यकीन के साथ कह सकता हूँ कि इन लोगों ने, जिन्होंने ये रिपोर्ट कुछ गोरों को मिला के बनाई है, इन्होंने बहुत बड़ी ज़्यादती की है और सरीहन इन्होंने झूठ बोला है, और ये बदनीयती पे मबनी है। ये लोग खुदा को, रसूल खुदा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को और अहले बैत अलैहिस्सलाम को, ख़ुसूसन इमाम ज़माना अलैहिस्सलाम को जवाबदेह होंगे, और इन्हें इसकी जो है वो सख्त सज़ा मिलेगी, इस दुनिया में भी और आखिरत में भी। इन्होंने बहुत बड़ी ज़्यादती की है, इन्होंने पूरी शिया कौम को बदनाम किया है। सारे वहाँ ह्यूस्टन के जितने सेंटर हैं वो इसमें काफ़ी उनमें गुस्सा और इज़्तिराब पाया जाता है इनके इस झूठ पे। और इसका ख़ुलासा सिर्फ ये है कि मुखलिस लोग हैं, मुखलिस अंदाज से काम कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे। और ये एक मरहूम डॉक्टर साहब थे जिन्होंने डोनेशन दी थी, जो इस दुनिया में नहीं है। उनकी फैमिली, उनके भाई और उनके भतीजे, ये जो है वो उस अपने मरहूम ताया या चचा की डोनेशन पे जो है उस इदारे की इंतज़ामिया में ज़बरदस्ती शामिल होना चाहते हैं। लेकिन चूँकि इनकी आदतें और इनका किरदार और इनकी सोच और इनका माजी कुछ ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं है, तो वो लोग इन्हें ऑन बोर्ड नहीं कर रहे और इन्हें इंतज़ामिया में शामिल नहीं कर रहे, और इस वजह से इन्होंने जो है ये एक ज़्यादती की है। और ज़ाहिर है अब वो भी लिटिगेशन में जा रहे हैं और हत्या की इज़्ज़त का भी होगा। लेकिन ये जो चीज़ इन्होंने इस तरह गोरों को पैसे दे के बनवा दी, एक रिपोर्ट की शक्ल में, डॉक्यूमेंट्री की शक्ल में, इन्होंने इन लोगों के किरदार को जो है वो उस पर सवाल उठाया है। और किसी मोमिन की इज़्ज़त और नामूस जो है वो बहुत ही अहमियत की हामिल होती है। खुदा इन सब को जो है वो खुसूसन ये जिन्होंने इल्ज़ाम लगाया इन्हें अक्ल व शऊर अता करे। और इन्हें अब मैं क्या कहूँ कि ये कैसे जो है उनकी इज़्ज़त को रेस्टोर कर सकेंगे जो इतना बड़ा इन्होंने उन पर इल्ज़ाम लगा दिया। लेकिन ये सच और झूठ जल्दी वाज़ेह हो जाएगा और इन लोगों को नदामत के सिवा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। तो हमें याद रखिए, इंशाअल्लाह खुदा तमाम मोमिनीन को जहाँ जहाँ वे भी हैं उनकी माल इज़्ज़त आबरू, उनकी जान माल इज़्ज़त आबरू की खुदा हिफाजत फरमाए। और ऐसे शरपसंद नासिर जो हमारी कौम में हैं और जो काम करने वाले लोग मुखलिस लोगों पे उंगली उठाते हैं और लोगों को उनसे बदजन करते हैं, खुदा इन्हें शऊर, अक्ल और नेक नियति अता करे। और अगर ये इस काबिल नहीं है तो खुदा इनकी तौफीकात को सल्ब कर ले। खुदा हाफिज़। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
Wow. How absolutely shocking and disgusting is this person who claims to be a Maulana? So some of the key things that were said by this so-called Maulana was that our investigation humiliated the Shia community. Yes, our fight for truth and transparency is what humiliated the Shia community, not Ali Assad and his management team refusing to answer any questions about how a large donation was used at the mosque. The same management team that uses threats and intimidation to silence people who ask any questions. We are the bad guys for asking questions. Here's another statement made by this Maulana. Apparently, according to him, my father and I wanted to join the management of Dar Abbas, but our character and our thinking was so bad that the management refused our request. Now I have to ask, where did this Maulana get this story from? Did he ever reach out to me or my father to verify the truth? Did he act as a neutral party and try to understand both sides? Or did he simply take the word of his future employer, Ali Assad, and repeat whatever he was told? Brothers and sisters, let me be clear. I have never met this Maulana in my life. My father has never met this Maulana in his life. Yet here he is, publicly defaming my family, claiming that we are people of bad character, trying to force ourselves into the management of Dar Abbas. And what is the truth? The truth is simple. All we ever asked for was transparency. Transparency about the donations my late uncle had made before he passed away. That's it. We never asked to join the management team. We never tried to take control of the center. Then this Maulana goes on to say, I have done my research and I can say with guarantee that everything is fine at Dar Abbas. So let's examine this claim. This Maulana, who has no background in finance or accounting, supposedly reviewed all of the accounts and financials of Dar Abbas overnight and determined that everything was perfectly fine. So according to him, the investigators who specialize in uncovering fraud and corruptions are the ones who are lying, and we should instead take his word for it because he wears the title of Maulana. If that's the case, then did this Maulana's research include the $4,500 payment made to a realtor using your donation funds? Did he see the $9,500 payment to Amir Naqvi? Did he notice the $50,000 in cash withdrawn by Ali Assad? Brothers and sisters, these are not the words of a man who represents what it means to be a Maulana. A Maulana must be adil. They must be just. They must be neutral. They cannot slander someone just because it helps them secure a job at a mosque. And that is exactly what happened. I remember as soon as I heard Wasim Abbas had resigned from his position and that this new Maulana had released a recording calling my family and me liars, I knew right away that he would be appointed to the new resident alim of Dar Abbas. This is a clear example of you scratch my back and I'll scratch your back. You release statements calling this family liars and saying that the management of Dar Abbas is not doing anything wrong, and this job is yours. He traded his reputation and sacrificed his character for a measly job. A job as a Maulana for an Islamic center. How absolutely shocking and embarrassing. And I wish I could say it stops here, and this Maulana has not done anything wrong since. However, that is not the truth. Even in the midst of our lawsuit, where we alleged improper practices, no record keeping or accounting, and no transparency, Ali Asad was writing blank checks to this Maulana every single month for over a year. Think about it. A Maulana who was supposed to set an example for our community on how Muslims should live, first slandered a family for seeking the truth, and is now accepting blank checks from that very same mosque. A check without a name has no paper trail, meaning no one can later verify where that money actually went. This kind of practice makes audits, accountability, and community trust impossible. According to both IRS and state nonprofit regulations, all disbursements must be properly documented, including the payee, date, purpose, and authorization. A blank check is essentially undocumented spending, which could be treated as fraud or misappropriation of charitable funds. There are rumors that this Maulana is accepting blank checks in an effort to circumvent paying taxes on his income. Another sad and shameful act by a so-called religious scholar, a man who is supposed to be an example for us as Muslims. How shameful. We have heard from community members that Ali Asad has been telling people the case is over and that they have won. Sadly, nothing could be further from the truth. This is not a victory. It is a sad and sorrowful defeat for our entire community. Through this process, we have shown that everything I said in my initial speech was 100% correct. This mosque is being run like a business, and the person benefiting the most is Ali Asad. The community's trust, their donations, and the sacred purpose of this mosque have all been compromised for the gain of one individual. And the most shameful part is that we have allowed this disease to plague our community for decades. During our settlement, my father and I offered to build and run a Sunday school and a ghusl khana on the land occupied by Dar Abbas. Remember, this is a 4-acre property with roughly 3 acres currently being unused. Our goal was simple: to bring the community together and create something that would benefit everyone. Our children would have a proper playground and classroom to learn Islam, and the ghusl khana would provide a desperately needed facility, helping families reduce burial costs. But of course, this proposal was rejected by Ali Asad and his management team. If a project isn't 100% under their control, if they can't personally benefit from it, or if someone else receives even a small acknowledgement, they refuse it. These individuals are willing to sacrifice the growth of your children and the progress of our community purely for their own selfish ego and gain. And this has to stop, brothers and sisters. This is where I need your help. I have already shown you clearly how Ali Asad and his team operate this mosque with no transparency, no oversight, and using your donations like a personal piggy bank. One of my Sunni brothers had told me about a similar story at the Champions Masjid, where the treasurer was found to have been stealing community funds for himself. And do you know what happened to that man? All of the men in that community gathered together and beat him to a bloody pulp. He was so humiliated that he had to resign and move out of state. Now, of course, I am not advocating for violence in any way, but I am now speaking to the men in our community. For those who call themselves the followers of Imam Ali alayhi salam and Imam Hussein alayhi salam, are you going to stand by quietly despite knowing the truth and not act to protect your community and your mosque from this corruption? Isn't this the exact thing that Imam Hussein alayhi salam sacrificed his whole family for during Karbala? Are we going to repeat the same mistakes that the people of Kufa made? We cry for Imam Hussein alayhi salam every Muharram and say, Labbaik ya Hussein, Labbaik ya Hussein. Now, when we are faced with the same level of corruption and greed in our own community, can we follow in his footsteps? The plan to rid this disease from our community is simple, brothers and sisters. Do not donate $1 more of your hard-earned money to this organization. Demand that Ali Assad and his crooked management team resign from their positions. There are plenty of smart, educated people within our community who would gladly like to run this mosque properly and with 100% transparency. In the short 2 years that we have been running MIC, I have met so many generous and caring community members who truly care about our community and not their own personal egos. These people sacrifice their own time and energy to help others without ever expecting anything in return. These are the people we should be elevating to positions of leadership, not people who stop progress because it does not benefit them personally. For those who would like to take things a step further, I implore you to fill out a complaint form with the Attorney General of Texas. We have already been in communication with the Attorney General regarding our case. We believe if we can get enough families to complain about this nonprofit organization, the Attorney General will have no choice but to act. And these complaint forms can be filled out 100% anonymously. Brothers and sisters, let me end by saying that we are not your enemies. Our fight is not with Dar Abbas or its community members. Our fight is only against corrupt management, any corrupt management of any mosque. There are so many kind and generous people in our community, and it makes me so happy to see. There are people in our community who are struggling themselves to put food on the table. However, they will be the first to help someone else or donate $1 to the mosque when needed. These community members are the ones who have truly understood the message of the Holy Prophet, of Imam Ali, and of Imam Hussein. I know that hearing the truth can be very difficult, but unfortunately for our community, this is the truth. For those who may be angry or upset, trust me, I completely understand. But please remember that we are not your enemies. We are not the cause of your anger. The only people you should be angry at are Ali Assad and the management of Dar Abbas for misusing your donated funds for all these years. Personally, I cannot stand by and watch a man loot a community of their donations and not do anything. There is a reason that my name is Murtaza, because like Imam Ali alayhi salam, I cannot stand for injustice, especially in a mosque. I am not afraid to speak up against corrupt leadership and those who hide behind the door of a mosque. I only fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Allah alone. The world is filled with corruption and weak men. We should keep our mosques sacred and not let this disease of corruption seep into our religious centers. I don't claim to be perfect. In fact, I am far from being perfect. but I would never, in my right mind, take one single dollar that has been donated by our community members and use it for my own personal gain. And anyone who can do that should be punished in this life and in the hereafter. For those worried that if Ali Asad leaves, the mosque will close, let me be clear. Ali Asad does not own Dar Abbas. This is a community center. No one person can own it. Ali Asad does not own the majlis of Imam Hussain or the practice of Azadari. These belong to us, to the community, and to Allah. Our mosque will continue holding majlis and the Azadari of Imam Hussain alayhi salam because it is we, the community members, who facilitate these sacred gatherings. No one man can or ever will own them. Despite the rumors spread by Ali Asad and his management team about MIC closing, that will never happen. My family and I have dedicated our time and resources over the past 2 years to teaching our youth and organizing events that strengthen our bonds as a community. We hope our work demonstrates our true intentions. Our mission will continue, and we pray to Allah that He guides us and helps us achieve these goals, inshallah. We have also dedicated over 2 years and tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees to expose the truth about the management of Dar Abbas. Our job is now done. The rest is up to you, brothers and sisters. Do we want another 20 years of corruption and greed, or do we want a leadership team that will work to uplift our children, provide much-needed resources from your donations, and strengthen our community? The decision is yours, brothers and sisters. May Allah help us all. Thank you.